Picture this. The year is 2014. The season is March. The scene is my best friend's basement. And we are amidst a very intense psilocybin mushrooms trip. Whoa. I'm sitting with my back against the wall and my knees are on my chest, and I turn to her and I say, "Ew, dude, cheese." And then we go back to our psychedelic experience, and a few moments later I turn to her again and say, "Eggs." And in that moment I was having this perceived reality of how disgusting eggs and cheese were, and that realization from that perceived reality, I proceeded to create a lifestyle of being vegan. So from that moment on, I was vegan. I was already vegetarian because I had watched Food Inc. and saw the chicken about to get his head cut off, and I thought it was terrible. So I had already been vegetarian for like 2 months before that, and then in March of 2014, I went vegan until September of 2019. And this is how it went down. I was at First Watch with Dylan, and our homie Nate was the server. It was really busy and he was floating around everywhere doing all the things, and I ordered a burrito. My burrito was supposed to be vegan per usual because I was already vegan at this time. I had been vegan for 5.5 years by this point, and then my burrito came and it had eggs in it. And me at that point didn't want to send my burrito back because I didn't want to be a Nazi about it. I had long been a vegan Nazi about a lot of different things to a lot of different people, wanting everybody to be vegan because it's the best diet, most humane, like bloopity bloppity bloop. I was all in it, and I didn't want to be a Nazi at that point, especially because our friend was our server, and also because it was popping. It's always popping in the restaurant on Sundays. The kitchen was popping. I've worked in restaurants. I know how it is. I'm not gonna send back my burrito like, "Can you remake it because there's eggs in it and I'm a Nazi?" So I didn't send it back, and I thought about eating it in that moment. I was like, well, I could just eat it, you know, but I couldn't bring myself to do it yet. I hadn't thought about not being vegan yet, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I just picked around the eggs and ate like the potatoes and spinach and the mushrooms and whatever else was in that, but I couldn't eat the eggs. But from that instance, I began to question my philosophy on eggs and veganism, because I had realized, I hadn't thought about it yet, I realized though that I had built my whole lifestyle off of a psychedelic experience without any research. There was no research that happened after that experience. There was no no research on like the body and the health needs that we have, and the nutritive value of eggs and cheese and all that stuff. So I just made this really kind of intense, serious lifestyle choice that has affected a lot of different situations in my life by being vegan. Like, oh, you can't eat this, we have to make special accommodations, whatever, just based off of this one like psychedelic experience I had. So I began to question that, and I started doing research on eggs, and I realized that they had a lot of protein and a lot of B12 and some other vitamins in there that I was regularly lacking. So I didn't do supplements and I had a really difficult time just regulating my energy levels. There was just a lot of like up and down, and with my mood and everything too, and I think it could have had something to do with the lack of nutrients that I was not getting. I'm still not getting all my nutrients because I'm still in the process of figuring out the diet thing. So anywho, I started doing research and realized that there was a lot of things in them that I needed in my body that I wasn't getting. And vegans will tell you that like you get all your protein if you eat enough of this, but I couldn't eat enough nuts because it made my tummy hurt. I couldn't eat enough beans because it made me bloated. Like it wasn't practical for me and my body. Anyways, I digress. After I started researching the eggs a little bit more, I began to physically crave eggs. It was this really weird thing where my body was physically craving them. Like my mom would be making scrambled eggs or like a frittata or something, and there was the aromas of eggs happening, and she was cooking, and I would see it, and I was like, my mouth would be watering, and I was like, what is going on? Do I really want to eat these eggs right now? And I definitely did. My body was like, we would like to eat that, or I would like to eat that. I was like, I'm not ready for that. So I kind of not fought with it, but I kind of danced around just a little bit. I was like, well, I'm not really ready to eat these eggs yet, because it had been over 5 years. So when you live your life a certain way for so long, it becomes like, this is the way that I am, this is what I do, and whatever. And then when the change comes, it's like, oh, change, what? We get to change? I don't know if I can change. And you can change, it's okay, you can do it. So yeah, I really wanted to eat eggs, and then the first thing that I ended up eating was zucchini bread that my best friend Nina had gotten from a farmer's market. We were neighbors with this girl who makes her own zucchini bread, and she got her organic farm eggs, her hand fed chickens and whatever. So like, they're good chickens, and it came from a good source. And she was like, do you want some of this bread? And I was like, you know what, I do. And then I didn't feel like I was gonna die, you know, after I ate it. So then that was kind of the breaking of the seal of my veganism, and I then proceeded to still really want to eat eggs, and I made myself a scrambled egg. One day I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, and I ended up making myself a scrambled egg. I put it on top of oatmeal, and I don't think people think that sounds weird, but it was very delicious. I love savory and sweet together, so I make like oatmeal with fruit, and then I put the egg on top of it, and that was the first time that I ate an egg, and that was in like September of 2019. And it was honestly kind of weird. it was kind of weird. I was just like, well, this got a texture here that we're not so used to anymore. So I thought it was a little bit weird, but my body felt like I was giving it literal life. Like, I was infusing life into my body by eating this egg. I felt so energized and so ready to just do life stuff that I had not experienced that in a long time. I was like, I don't know the last time I felt this good after eating food. Because with veganism, if you eat too much, with me personally, because everybody's got different physical makeups and biological makeups and chemical compounds and all that, so everybody has a different like balance. So but if I would eat too much fruits, for instance, like my banana smoothies, and banana bowls, which I steady ate for like many years, like 4, maybe even 5, like the whole time pretty much. I don't really remember, but I would have a crash afterwards. Like, it would be like, yeah, smoothie energy, and then I'd be like, no more energy. And I would be putzing out, and I wouldn't have any energy left, and I would feel like I was crashing. Then I would need to supplement with caffeine, and it was like a whole thing, right? And so it wasn't good, but I had experienced sustained, focused energy after eating it, and I was like, wow, I feel really good. I think I'm gonna eat eggs now. And then I became like a closet egg eater, and I didn't want to tell my parents that I was eating eggs, so I was just like secretly cooking them when they weren't home and stuff. And I think it was one of those things where I had been vegan so long and been so like defiant about veganism. It was like, this is what everybody needs to do. You need to be vegan. You need to be, like, everybody needs to be vegan. So I didn't want to like go back on what I had believed so strongly. So I didn't want to face them with my tail between my legs. I had been wrong about the vegan diet. So I just was hiding out until one day they caught me, and I was like, the egg eater has been exposed. They didn't really make a deal about it. I was the one who's making a deal about it, as per usual, as I do about things, make deals in my mind that don't really matter. Which I think a lot of people do that. We just make all these constructs in our minds that cause us to be anxious about things that literally do not matter. But try telling that to your mental complex and see if you can destroy it while you're at it. So yeah, that's what happened. And since then I've been more creative with my egg creations. I got scrambled eggs and omelets and hard-boiled eggs and egg mashes of sorts and sunny side up eggs and over easy, you know, just doing all the things with the eggs. There's so many possibilities I haven't even explored. The Asians really do a lot of good things with their eggs. I've seen a lot of Asians on the internet who are doing really creative things with eggs. I'm like, wow, you guys really thought about this. This is good. This is good stuff. I just haven't done any of those things yet. I've kind of stuck with like the 5 basic egg concoctions. So where am I now in my diet? I am in flux, if you will. I'm fluctuating and I haven't landed at a solid diet per se necessarily. The other day I received, actually it was like 2 weeks ago at this point, I received an order from First Watch again, and I said no cheese, and it came with cheese on it, and so I decided that I wasn't going to be a Nazi again, and I just picked around the cheese, but I did eat a little bit of cheese, and I honestly got a tummy ache. Like my tummy was just like, and I was like, okay. So we're still not hip to dairy. I haven't been hip to dairy because there's just like a lot of hormones and things, and like I already have a whole process regulating my hormones. I don't need anything else that's gonna like mess it up. So I'm just gonna leave the dairy with the cows, and I'll just drink almond milk or coconut milk if it continues to be a sustainable practice. There's also questions about that. I think I can happily live as a vegetarian for the time being. My body is also doing the thing that I was doing with the eggs, where it's craving chicken and fish, and I am literally not ready to go. I'm not ready to do it because I have a psychological complex about it, where I think it will freak me out to eat meat because I know it's like a dead animal. It's completely normal. It's completely normal, but I've created this complex that I have to physically overcome to be able to go into eating meat and stuff. And I don't think I'm ready, and I don't really want to yet. But I will say that it would solve a lot of my problems because I'm regularly deficient in a lot of nutrients, mostly B12, B3, vitamin D, calcium, zinc, magnesium, and a lot of those could just be solved by eating a well-balanced, regular diet. So I'm aware I have to supplement with vitamins, and I have to track my nutrients to make sure that I'm getting enough, because I think it does help me balance my hormones when all my nutrients are in my body. I'm like, okay, we got the nutrients, now we can just like be healthy, you know? That's the goal. I will say that I tried keto last week, or no, was it this week? That was this week, yeah, for literally 4 days, and I felt like I was dying the whole time. They call it the keto flu, but high fat, low carb is just, my body was like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I'm trying to be like more fit, you know? And it was like, stop. So yeah, it didn't work out for me at all because it was too much fat. I felt sick, like literally so sick. Every meal I just didn't even want to eat. I was like, no. It was no. I don't want to do it. And they're like, will you get over it? And I'm like, I don't even care. I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna put myself through that. It affected my whole life for those 4 days, where I was like having to just like lay in bed in a ball. I'm just like, I don't feel good. And I was like in school and online, and I was just like, so, you know, keto might be for some people, it's not for me. I personally really still like fruits and vegetables, you know? So I want to be able to incorporate fruits and vegetables into my diet, also with my eggs. Not hip with the cheese and the dairy. Debatably in the future I will eat meat again. If I do, I may or may not let you know. I don't know. It depends on how I feel about that at the time, or if I intend to, or whatever. So yeah, I'm currently content with this. I'm semi-content. I can't say I'm fully content because I know that my nutrition is not completely baseline yet. It's kind of like we're still like, okay, let's get this right. So I'm still trying to get my nutrition correct, but I think that I'm on a better path now that I'm eating eggs, and I'm possibly open to the idea of eating meat in the future if that's what I need to do. It sounds like that's what I need to do, but I'm just literally not ready. It's the psychological complex, so it's got to be broken down. I don't know what it's gonna take to do that. The mind is quite a place where there's a lot of things that happen. So we need to take care of that situation, and then maybe I will proceed into eating the meats of sorts. Maybe not red meat. I don't know. I don't have the answer right now. The point is, I was vegan and now I am not anymore, and I'm very happy about it. And I think now actually I'm going to make a breakfast that's got eggs in it. It's gonna be eggs, some beans. Not like a whole can of beans. That's the thing. I did say that beans made me bloated, but I was trying to eat like enough to get protein. But if I have eggs, I don't need to eat as many beans. So I have eggs, beans, vegetables, probably some spinach, some tomatoes, maybe a little bit of avocado, maybe some mushrooms. Get that zinc. So mushrooms have got zinc in them for vegans out there who still are vegan and need to get their nutrients on. Mushrooms have zinc in them. Anywho, hey, I am going to go and make my breakfast, and I will show it to you if you want to see it. It's probably going to be delicious. But anyway, thank you to everybody. Thank you, vegans, former vegans, vegan Nazis. Don't be a Nazi. It's not cool. Okay, thank you, and everybody have a beautiful and blessed day. May God bless all of you. Goodbye. So here we have a baked bean, carrot, tomato, spinach, egg, mushroom hash, if you will. I think we should call that some type of hash. Everything's just kind of thrown in there. We have some lettuce and avocado over here, and we have a mango. And also, it is March, but Santa Paws still stops here. No, come back. Okay. So I'm gonna eat this now. All right. Goodbye.